Here today to the District 4 Division of Highways headquarters for what will be, we think, a rather important day in the history of our state. Today really is a very special occasion in West Virginia, perhaps even an historic occasion. And although the notion of natural gas fueled vehicles is not a new one, its time has come, not just in West Virginia, but in the United States of America. And why is that so? And why West Virginia now? Well, first of all, West Virginia's house is in order, and thus in a position to lead. We are in a virtual hotbed of activity in relationship to the development and production of natural gas. Through new completion techniques, new reserves are being proven and developed, and we have the opportunity now in West Virginia to utilize clean, inexpensive, and abundant natural gas to not only fuel the homes in our state, but to fuel at least some of the vehicles in our state, and progressively a lot of vehicles in our state. Use of this safe, clean, environmentally superior fuel source is not only economic, but in the benefit of the taxpayers of our state as we consider the cost of fuel for state vehicles, as well as the taxpayers who pay for that fuel. So to the extent that we can provide that fuel source at a much cheaper rate utilizing natural gas, we have done something of benefit to the taxpayers. And as we spread the good news about this, hopefully more jurisdictions across the nation will follow our lead. Hopefully this will cause our country to become much less dependent on costly foreign oil and the huge expense we incur in terms of taxpayer dollars to defend volatile regions of this country from which oil is now produced. Not to mention the devastating loss of life and limb associated in the human sacrifice it takes to defend those areas. The important thing for us to remember today that West Virginia is not waiting. Our governor is not waiting. He is leading. He understands the potential benefit of utilizing natural gas as a vehicular fuel and wants to evaluate the potential benefits associated with it, and thereby develop a very strategic plan to realistically and practically convert state vehicles to be an encouraging force in the development and use of natural gas fueled vehicles across the country as well as here in West Virginia. West Virginia is leading. Our governor is leading. He is stepping up to take advantage of an opportunity we have in West Virginia that few states have. It's easy for someone to steer the ship, but a true leader charts the course. And in this case, we are charting the course not only for ourselves, but for others. He will appoint a task force today, and he'll announce that in a few minutes, that will lead the way in this effort. He is indeed putting West Virginia first, moving us forward, and I am proud today to have the opportunity to introduce him. He's a man whose name has become familiar in households across our state over the past couple of years. He is a man whose public policy positions over the course of his career, which is quite extensive, are becoming well known. He is becoming well known as perhaps the best financial steward our state has had. He is the governor of our state at this time. He is the governor of our state at the right time. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you my friend, your friend, our governor, the Honorable Earl Ray Tomblin.
Thank you very much, Phil, for that very kind introduction. I will not keep you here long. I know you're as hot as I am, but I want to welcome all of you here today. I think it's a very important announcement and something that's going to change West Virginia. I know good friend Bob Andrews has been working on this for some time, and today we'll make it official. But today does mark a very important day for our state, as well as we highlight a plentiful natural resource within our borders. We hope to expand demand and support for the natural gas industry, as well as create jobs. Today, we're poised and ready to assess the feasibility of transitioning our state's vehicle fleet to run on natural gas. Over the past several years, great developments have been made in the exploration of the Marcellus Shale here in West Virginia. And those developments are providing our state with an abundant supply of natural gas. Natural gas that could be used to fuel cars and trucks here in West Virginia and all across America. Taking advantage of this great resource is both an issue of energy independence as well as jobs. Switching our vehicles to run on natural gas produced in America will lessen our dependence on oil produced in the unstable Middle East. It will transform one of our energy security weaknesses into a source of strength. Developing West Virginia's natural gas reserves is also about jobs. Our state has a great abundance of natural gas. Using natural gas to power cars and trucks would open a vast new market for this important resource. It could keep thousands of West Virginians employed in good-paying jobs for years to come. Since I became governor, creating jobs for West Virginians has been my #1 priority, and that's my focus as we explore diversifying our state fleet to include vehicles fueled by natural gas. It's important to start with our state automobile fleet for a number of reasons. Your average car buyer doesn't want to buy a natural gas car unless he or she sees that it works, and until they know that a station is around to fill up. From a service station perspective, until there are natural gas cars on the road, it doesn't make business sense to build a natural gas filling station. In a situation like that, I think it's critical for the state to help get the ball rolling. By transitioning some of our state vehicles to natural gas, we'll be able to show West Virginians that this technology is safer, cleaner, and cheaper than gasoline. And these state cars will be customers for the businesses who want to build natural gas filling stations. Another benefit running our fleet on natural gas is that we would save taxpayers money. In a few minutes, I'll sign an executive order creating a task force to determine the best way to accomplish this project. I believe the task force will thoroughly analyze the issues and come up with a recommendation on how we can jumpstart private industry in a self-sustaining way. The investment we make, converting or purchasing new compressed natural gas vehicles, will be well worth it if we can create new jobs in West Virginia and make our country more energy secure and save taxpayers' dollars. This transition will boost our state's economy and lower our transportation costs. And I look forward to working with the task force and obtaining its perspective on this important issue. At this time, I'll sign the executive order creating the task force. I know that it will do great things for us as we move in a new direction in West Virginia as far as fueling our state and county vehicles, but also as the general public moves toward using natural gas as a substitute for gasoline or for diesel. So this time, Phil will sign the executive order.
We have some copies here for Corky and others that's going to be served, so that's good.